Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the 5th update for Pan Those Eyeshadows for 2022. This project was created by Alexi and you can always find her in my description box. This is the 3rd or 4th year I'm doing this project and I just love it so much. Even though I am notoriously not the most successful, but that's okay because I have a lot of fun doing it. I have randomized 5 eyeshadows from my entire collection, but the 5th shadow always comes from my focus palettes. I do not want to work on a black shade. I have a 20 use goal or hitting pan. And lastly, if I roll in an eyeshadow palette I have never used before or it's newer to me, I just used the entire palette 10 times to get a feel for it, to still keep the randomized palette in without having to pan a completely brand new shade from a palette I don't even know if I like yet. All that rambling aside, let's hop into this update because I'm very excited to share it with you. So first, this is the color story I have been working on over the last month. A little bit of a mix mash, I never know how to say that. I have a matte spring green, a gold glittery topper shade, I don't even know how to describe this. It's like a shimmery taupey purple and an orange matte and a bronze shimmer. So things didn't really go together the best. I do have 4 of my 5 shades in my eye look today. I did this many hours ago and then I've been doing yard work all day long, so I don't know how my eye look is looking, to be quite honest. I didn't have time to redo or touch up, so I just came down to my filming space and here we are. Before hopping into the eyeshadows, I like to mention my pan percentage. So at the beginning of May, I had a pan percentage of 1.98% and I now have a pan percentage of an even 2%. I started the year off with 1.69%. It's improving, not very fast, but I'm still happy that it is going up and not down. But that's enough rambling. The eyeshadow that has been in the longest comes from my BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. I'm working on shade 22, which is the spring green. The top shade there. I have used this 5 times since the last update for a total of 17 uses in this project, and I'm happy to say I have pan. I think you can kind of see the pan there. There are 2 pans in these green shades over here. I now have 3 pans in this palette. It has been rolled in every year, I think, the last 3 years. And I mean, is it the most fantastic quality? No, but I have created some really great looks out of this palette. They are buildable, blendable, small little pans. I think this is the perfect beginner rainbow palette. Like if you are a completely neutral loving gal and want to get into colorful eyeshadow, I think this is a great place to start. I don't even know if this is still available since the restructuring and merging with Makeup Revolution, but I think this is a great beginner color palette and I'm very happy to have another pan in here. So that is the 5th eyeshadow pan I have hit in 2022. Way behind schedule on where I want to be, but that is okay. The next eyeshadow that has been in the longest after that is from my ColourPop Wild Nothing palette, and I'm working on the shade Spirited, which is a gold topper. Oh, I thought I saw a pan there, but it's just a very glittery eyeshadow. It is a Super Shock shadow. I have quite the dip in there, but unfortunately I did not hit pan. I am at 19 uses. I'm not going to keep this in holding a spot in this project for just one more use, so I am going to be rolling this out today. It's still in my spreadsheet. I can roll it in again. I really thought I'd be able to easily hit pan in this because it is that Super Shock formula, and I have created quite a decent dip. However, I'm working on a ColourPop eyeshadow just on my own. It's not in any projects or anything, and I was kind of like holding the palettes side by side because I have a massive dip in the shade I'm working on in my other palette, and I was kind of holding them, and like this dip is nowhere near as deep as that other one, and I still haven't hit pan on it on the other shade either. So I really, honestly, for how big this dip is, I don't even think I am that close to pan. So I'm just going to roll it out. Again, it's still in my spreadsheet. If it gets rolled in again, so be it. But 19 uses on this is pretty good, and I actually reached for a ton of shades in this palette while it was out. This is a really great springtime palette in my opinion. Just really great, a really great palette for like fair skin tones like myself. I got quite a lot of use out of it, and I'm happy to have had it in here, but I am ready to put this away as well. Oh, I used it 5 times this month for a total of 19 uses. Next up, I have a single from Coastal Scents in the shade Deep Merlot. This is like the taupey purpley shade. It's a bit deeper for what I like in a shimmer typically. I've only used it twice this past month for a total of 5 uses. There is no dip at all. I mean, it kind of looks like it on the screen, but that's just like where I've been using it. It's not actually a dip. It's more of a disturbance in the shadow. Well, I think you can tell like this is what I'm working on. This shade here definitely has a dip, and they don't really look similar. So 5 uses so far on this shade. I don't really have much to say on it. I have really enjoyed it on my outer corner if I'm doing a more cool toned kind of look, but I didn't really feel like it went with a lot here. So I had been using that with more of like my Shop My Stash eyeshadows. Next I have my Sephora Pro Warm palette. I rolled in the shade Sandstone, which is that orange matte shade. I used this twice in the last month. I was really focusing on the 2 shades I'm able to roll out, and the others were kind of afterthoughts, to be honest. So 2 uses in the past month, bringing me up to a total of 6. I would really like to be working on this warm toned palette coming in to the month of June and then through the summer as well, because I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with warm neutrals. This is orange. It's not really like a warm brown or anything like that. Like it is, I mean, you can see it on my eyes today, a light matte orange. So at least it's kind of a fun pop of color. And I'm really enjoying working on this palette. I enjoy this palette a lot, so I don't mind to have it in. But this is also a shade I will just use 20 times and then roll out. And finally, from my Focus palette, the Comfort Zone from Wet n Wild, I rolled in the bronze shade, or oops, squished my finger, crease number 1. I used this 3 times this past month. I rolled it in last month. And honestly, it looks exactly the same. Like the letters aren't rubbed off at all. I'm kind of concerned on how long it's going to take me to hit pan on this. I'll probably just do 20 uses again, and then it will still be eligible to be rolled in a second time. But it actually is a really great bronze shade. It's the bottom there. It's like pretty high shine for being a very affordable palette and also being a very old palette. Like the quality is still really good in here. So I'm happy to be working on this. I want lots of pans in this palette by the end of the year. So those are the updates on the 5 shades I have been working on. I'm rolling out these top 2 shades, the 2 shades that have been in this project the longest, and I'm really excited to roll some new shades. So let's first off figure out how many eyeshadows I have to choose from. I have 1,071 eyeshadows eligible to be rolled in. I'm kind of nervous. Okay. 2 shades. We'll do one at a time. 48. Oh my gosh. That is going to be a really old. Okay. Okay, I have pulled my eyeshadows. I do know what one is, but not the other. I have swatched the 3 remaining shades. So we have that taupey purpley shade, the orange, and the bronze. So number, I think it was 48, is another Coastal Scents single, which I don't really want to be working on, but these are severely neglected in my collection, so we are just going to go with it. I really think these are going to be like 20 users and roll out, and the shade is Deep Grape. This is a very vibrant, deep grape purple color. Didn't I say during my update I wanted to work on more warm tones coming in to the summer months? Oh boy. And the second number was 518, I believe. Yes, and that comes from my Violet Voss Essentials 2 palette, which I've never used before. So this is going to be a 10 use on the entire palette, but I will share what shade got pulled in. I'm actually doing really well on getting through my makeup drawer of shame lately. I rolled in the shade Clay, which is the second shade here. So I will use that shade quite a bit, but also get used to the entire palette, which actually goes with my color story really well. I will swatch Clay because I will focus on that one a bit more, but I want to get familiar with this palette, create a variety of looks in here, and see if it's something I want to keep in my collection. I mean, I love the color story, but I don't know if I will love, you know, the formula and what have you. So again, well, I swatched that at the bottom there. Just a cool toned brown. I actually am really, my color story looks like this palette. I mean, there's a bronze in here, some browns, some purples. That is so strange. And again, not a very summery, warm toned palette. I shouldn't have said anything. So now this matte orange is really out of place. So I honestly think that is going to be neglected a bit more, and I'll focus on some of these more cooler toned eyeshadows. I'm not really sure. Okay. Focus. I'm kind of like pinging all over the place. This is my new color story. I will once again pop in a better picture so you can see what we are working with. Purpley, cool tone leading with a matte light orange. A bit strange. I honestly don't think any of these I will be able to hit pan on before 20 uses. And so going down the line, I'm at 5 for Deep Merlot, 6 for Sandstone, and 3 for the bronze shade. I don't know if I'm going to have any roll outs next time. If I use the Essentials 2 every single time I do my makeup, I might be able to, but like that's just not how I do things. So I know that's not going to happen. That's okay. We had 2 rollouts this time, and if we don't have any rollouts next time, I'm fine with that as long as I continue to make good progress. Maybe I can have some bonus pans to share with you next time to make it worth it, but yeah, I guess that is all I have to share with you guys. This is kind of anticlimactic because I don't really have anything else to say, which is very strange for me. Let me know what you think of my new color story. Do you like it? Do you have any ideas for looks? I love your guys' suggestions so much. I'm going to have fun with these purpley tones, even if I ask the panning gods for warm tones. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!